I really hope you're all doing really well, and welcome to the Buddy Read tag. So this is a tag that I got tagged in probably this time a year ago by my friend Walker over at Walker Writes 7. Yeah, I haven't been able to get to this because back then I wasn't really doing any buddy reads, and I thought, you know, it would be a nice idea to try and do some buddy reads, some group reads, so I can come back and actually answer these questions properly. So I'm finally doing it. So without any further ado, here are the questions. Number 1 is accountability. Do you like buddy reads? Yes, I very much enjoy buddy reads. It's really fun to read a book with somebody at the same time because you just get to then gush about the book as you're reading it, you know, give your thoughts. I do really just enjoy it. It's just a really fun way to get through books, especially books that perhaps maybe I struggle with reading, or, you know, especially longer books as well. You know, it kind of just gives you that extra sort of small goals to hit certain chapters or something and then go away and talk about it with your friends and then come back again. So I do really love buddy reading and group reading. Number 2 is sharing. Is there an ideal sized group for buddy reads? I mean, I'd say any size is fun. You know, I've done buddy reads with a couple of people. I've done buddy reads with like 20 plus people. You know, I do think having around 5 or so people is a really good number. You know, that's like a sort of small number of people. You can all sort of, you know, be on top of things, and, you know, you're not getting like 1,000,001 opinions, but, you know, I think any sort of number of people, because the conversation can just be so interesting and you get to get so many different perspectives, and you're more likely to get lots of different opinions about the book, which can be really interesting to talk about. Number 3 is duration. Are shorter or longer works better for buddy reads? I'd have to say both. You know, shorter is good because then I'm not rushing to try and get it finished. You know, it's easy to pick it up, and especially if it's something I don't perhaps end up enjoying as much, you know, I feel I can finish it, you know, regardless, because it's not too long of a book. But, you know, longer is also great because then you have more motivation to like push through. You know, I did a buddy read or a group read of Priory of the Orange Tree, which is a very, you know, quite a big book. But, you know, I had that motivation to get through it and get through it quite quickly because I wanted to then go and talk about it with the people in the buddy read and, you know, give my thoughts and stuff as it was going on. So, you know, both is my answer, I guess. Number 4, community. There are many types of readers. Share a meeting of minds. So my local book group is really interesting because it's just lots of different ages of people from different walks of life. And it always makes the discussion really interesting. You know, we recently read They by K. Dick, and it was very interesting almost seeing that myself and the younger people in the group really hated it, where some of the older people actually, you know, appreciated it a lot more and were able to kind of relate to a lot of the things that were going on in it a bit more than perhaps we were, because I think, you know, the younger generation especially were all, I think, a lot more cynical about dystopians and stuff. So that was a really interesting conversation and stuff, and I find that just a lot, you know, we're reading a range of different sci-fi and fantasy books at the moment, and honestly, having all those different perspectives is just really great to hear, and it's really interesting just to sit through, and I really look forward to that group every month. Number 5, perspectives. There are many types of readers. Share a difference in perspective. I'm not sure if you can share a difference in perspective, but a difference of opinion. I mean, recently in one of the other book groups I'm in, I read City of Stairs, and I actually ended up quite enjoying that one. It wasn't the most amazing thing I've ever read, but I definitely loved the world building and the mystery, and I was really attached to our main character, whereas Elsa in that group, she had DNF'd it at 30%, I think is as far as she got. So that was quite interesting that, you know, she didn't really enjoy it and put it down, whereas I was like, oh, you know, I actually quite enjoyed it by the end of it. You know, not the most amazing thing ever, but it was still great. So that was quite fun to be able to talk about our differences in opinion. Number 6, challenges. Share a private or public challenge to read out of your comfort zone. I mean, I had kind of started doing that when I started reading The Dark Tower alongside Steve Talks About Books. That started last August. Now he has since put the book series down. I believe the book series read as well has completed. I was completely behind the entire time. I was always a couple of months behind everybody because I was just so busy during the months where they started reading those books. And yeah, Stephen King is absolutely out of my comfort zone. You know, it's a lot darker than a lot of stuff I read. It's very weird as The Dark Tower, and I do enjoy it. Wizarding Glass I didn't really like at all, so that is kind of why I haven't gone back to it since. But I am definitely planning on going back to it at some point. You know, it's completely out of my comfort zone, but I am enjoying the book series, and I am intrigued enough to know to keep going to try and find out what The Dark Tower is going to be at the end of the series. I do actually have a video as well where I talk about my thoughts so far on the first 4 books, so if you're interested to hear what I have to say, definitely go check that out. But yeah, that was definitely a group read that, you know, I attempted because it was very much out of my comfort zone, and I felt I needed you know, other people to read it with, or at least to try and read it with, in order to motivate myself to get through this series. Number 7, events. What is your favourite reading event and why? I mean, not really event as such, but reading all the books that I had in the lead up to the YA Literature Convention was a really fun experience, you know, just to like read all these books and then know that you get to go to this event and hear these authors actually speak about their work and even meet some of them. That was really fun to do. And I also really love the Book Nook Corner's Trick or Treat-a-thon, which is sort of Halloween bingo sort of readathon that they did last year. I really enjoyed that. You're in teams and stuff, and it's done in a way where you can still get points even if you only read like 4 or 5 books a month rather than the whole full 25 that you could have on the bingo board. And it really pushed me as well to try and read more books than I normally do during term time and stuff, so I did really enjoy that, and I'm definitely going to be taking part in it again this year. Number 8 is Can't Stop A BookTuber you have buddy read with the most. Probably Elsa and the company from Elsa's book club, so Elsa from the French Book Dreamer. We've read a few books together now, and that's definitely one of the people I consistently read a lot of books with. Number 9, Won't Stop, a BookTuber you haven't but want to buddy read with. I don't really know, because like a lot of, not gonna lie, I kind of buddy read with most of the people I want to buddy read with anyway in that book group. But I would say I would be interested in doing buddy reads with either an erudite adventure or Dom over at Dominish Books. I think because we do have some crossover in the books that we read and stuff, and I think also reading with them, you know, would encourage me to perhaps go for books I don't normally read kind of thing, is something is maybe more suited to their tastes. I think it would be really interesting to chat with those guys about books, but you know, maybe it'll happen one day, maybe it won't. And number 10 is Tag Your Buddies. Now, I think a lot of people have actually done this one since I am really late to it, so I'm not going to tag anyone in this one. But if you are watching this and you really fancy doing this tag, please take this as your cue. I tag you to do this. But yeah, what did you think of my answers to these questions? What are your thoughts about buddy reads? What are your answers to these prompts? Let me know down below in the comments, you know, what's the most recent buddy read you've done? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If you've reached the end of this video, feel free to leave a like and feel free to subscribe. I post 2 videos a week. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.